The Spider Who Tried to Own the Sky. Chapter 1, The Restless Spider. Long ago, when the stars were young and the animals still spoke, lived Anansi the Spider. He was clever, perhaps too clever for his own good. From his web, he watched the elephant teaching her calves to find water, the owl showing cures for sickness, and the monkey sharing tricks for gathering fruits. Anansi frowned. Why should wisdom belong to everyone? If I held it all, the world would have no choice but to come to me. And from that thought, greed began to spin its web. Chapter 2, The Pot of Starlight. Anansi crept to Grandmother Earth, who lived deep in the roots of the oldest tree. Give me a vessel to hold the greatest treasure of all, he pleaded. What treasure do you seek, little spider? Mother Earth asked. Wisdom, Anansi whispered. With a sigh, Grandmother Earth shaped a clay pot from dust of fallen stars. She warned. Wisdom grows when shared, but shrinks when hidden. Anansi bowed, pretending to listen. But inside, he smiled. His plan was spinning perfectly. Chapter 3, The Great Gathering. Anansi scurried across plains and rivers, gathering wisdom from every creature. The owl poured healing secrets into the pot. The elephant gave water-finding skills. The monkey shared fruit knowledge, and even the trees whispered their ancient memory of seasons. The pot glowed brighter, heavier, and hotter with every secret. The more Anansi gathered, the more he wanted. Meanwhile, the forest grew dim. Young monkeys ate poisonous fruit. Elephant calves wandered thirsty. Birds built nests in dangerous places. Still, Anansi laughed. Now, they need me more than ever. Chapter 4, The Heavy Burden. At last, the pot was so full of wisdom that Anansi could hardly carry it. He decided to hide it forever at the top of the tallest Iroko tree. He pushed, pulled, tied, and climbed, but the pot dragged him down every time. His 8 clever legs were useless against the crushing weight of hoarded wisdom. For the first time, Anansi began to doubt himself. Chapter 5, The Child's Answer. Just then, his younger son appeared. Papa, why are you struggling? The small spiderling asked. I must take this pot to the top of the tree, but it is too heavy, Anansi snapped. The child tilted his head and said simply, why not tie it to your back? Then your legs would be free to climb. Anansi froze. How could a child, who had no pot of wisdom, see what he with all the world's knowledge could not? At that moment, the truth struck him, wisdom was not something to own. It was something that breathed and grew only when shared. Chapter 6, The Shattered Sky. Anansi lifted the glowing pot high. With all his strength, he hurled it against the tall Iroko tree. It shattered like thunder. Streams of golden wisdom burst forth, racing into the forest, the rivers, the sky itself. Every creature felt their wisdom return, richer and stronger than before. The elephant taught new water paths. The owl healed with fresh cures. Even the youngest animals learned new ways of living. Anansi's web shimmered in the golden light, no longer heavy with greed, but light with understanding. Chapter 7, The True Cleverness. From that day, Anansi was no longer just a trickster. He became the greatest storyteller. He taught that wisdom is like the sky, too vast for one creature to own. It must shine on everyone, for that is how it grows brighter. His son had been right all along. Sometimes, the simplest answer is the wisest. And so the tale of the spider who tried to own the sky spread far and wide, reminding us even today. Wisdom is not a treasure to hide, but a light to guide. The moral of the story, wisdom is a flame, not a treasure. The tale of the spider and the pot of wisdom reminds us that knowledge is never meant to be locked away, it is meant to be shared. Just as the spider learned too late that hoarding wisdom only weakens a community, we too must remember that learning becomes most powerful when it is passed on. For teachers, the lesson is clear: every classroom shines brighter when knowledge is not just delivered, but exchanged. A child's simple question, like the little spiderling, can unlock solutions that even the most experienced mind may overlook. True teaching is not about showing how much one knows, but about creating space where curiosity, mistakes, and fresh ideas can flourish. For parents, the story reminds us that wisdom doesn't flow only from the older to the younger, it flows both ways. Sometimes, a child's innocent perspective holds the key to a problem adults cannot solve. To listen to our children is to honor their role as natural teachers in the great circle of learning. For children, the lesson is that your voice matters. You do not need to know everything to be wise, you only need to look, to think, and to share. Even the smallest idea, when spoken with courage, can guide others and change the world. And for all of us, living in a time where information is more abundant than ever before, this story teaches that real wisdom is not in having knowledge, but in how we use it and who we share it with. The internet, libraries, schools, and homes become like great webs of learning only when we treat knowledge as sunlight. Something that grows warmer and brighter the more it touches others. So let us not be like the spider who tried to keep wisdom in a pot. Instead, let us live as teachers and learners together, remembering always that wisdom grows when it is shared, and shrinks when it is hidden.